Donald Trump just dropped a Truth Social bombshell, accusing ABC and NBC of being fake news and calling for their broadcast licenses to be revoked, or at least demanding they pay millions for using the airwaves. But what's real, and what's downright misleading? Stick with me as we unpack this explosive post, expose the truth behind FCC rules, and reveal the high-stakes media game beneath it all. Today, we're diving deep into the latest Trump media battle. I'll break down his fiery Truth Social claims, weigh them against the legal and historical realities, and add some insider context you won't want to miss. Get the facts: FCC fees, license law, and First Amendment reality. Understand the implications of saying media should be terminated. Plus, commentary sprinkled with insight, history, and just a touch of showbiz. Post number 1. Why is it that ABC and NBC fake news, two of the absolute worst and most biased networks anywhere in the world, aren't paying millions of dollars a year in license fees? They should lose their licenses for their unfair coverage of Republicans and/or conservatives, but at a minimum, they should pay up big for having the privilege of using the most valuable airwaves anywhere at any time. Crooked journalism should not be rewarded. It should be terminated. Post number 2. Despite a very high popularity, and according to many, among the greatest 8 months in presidential history, ABC and NBC fake news, two of the worst and most biased networks in history, give me 97% bad stories. If that is the case, they are simply an arm of the Democrat Party and should, according to many, have their licenses revoked by the FCC. I would be totally in favor of that, because they are so biased and untruthful, an actual threat to our democracy, MAGA. Trump claims these networks are the worst, biased to 97% negative, and even calls them threats to democracy. This explosive rhetoric is winning headlines, and yes, gets engagement, but how grounded is it? No direct licenses to networks. The FCC licenses local stations, not national networks like ABC or NBC. No license fees of that kind exist. Broadcasters pay regulatory fees set by Congress, not millions, per se, as the Post implies. The FCC's proposed fee for broadcasters in FY 2025 is around $51.3 million, up just 0.018% from FY 2024. First Amendment shields content-based revocation. The FCC cannot legally revoke licenses based on perceived political bias or negative coverage. This would violate free press protections. Trump's demanded license termination, or huge payments, paint a market where you can just revoke an outlet if you don't like coverage. But in reality, that's not how licensing works. And frankly, that kind of content-based revocation hasn't flown in court. Fairness Doctrine history. The Fairness Doctrine, which required balanced coverage, was repealed in 1987 due to concerns over free speech and the rise of diversified media. So it no longer applies. Past Trump media clashes. Trump has frequently attacked media, including ABC. Remember his $16 million defamation settlement with them, and a similar payout with CBS owner Paramount. Trump's language echoes the Fairness Doctrine era, demand fairness or else, but that doctrine's long gone. Instead, we have a robust legal shield around editorial control and content freedoms. Is there legal risk for ABC-NBC? No. Attempts to revoke licenses over content are unlikely to survive legal scrutiny. What about policy changes? Some broadcasters want fees expanded to streaming and tech platforms for fairness, but that's separate from Trump's claims. Net, this is less about actual policy change and more about driving a narrative. Mainstream media is the enemy, fueling loyalty and rage in the base. For all its shock value, it's practically symbolic. Here's the bottom line. Trump's Truth Social posts are attention-grabbing megaphones, but they clash with FCC law, constitutional protection, and media history. The real story is about power, perception, and playing to an audience, often at the expense of facts. Do you think media bias should ever be a reason to threaten licenses? Let me know below. If you asked an FCC commissioner, what do you think they'd say? I'll post the best answers, or even attempt to get one next. Smash that like button if you want more breakdowns like this. Share to spark debate. And hey, I'm open to deep diving into other media controversies. Sound off in the comments. Thanks for staying with me through that media rant and reality check. If you found this eye-opening, hit that subscribe bell so you don't miss future breakdowns of the most viral news claims.